Picture this. It's a warm summer day and you decide to take your little sibling to the pool to cool off. You're enjoying yourself working on your tan, and all of a sudden you see a light splashing, and then your sibling's head goes under the water. Luckily, there's a trained professional there to save the day. You leap into the water and quickly pull your sibling out. The scene has become more and more familiar to me as I've been a lifeguard since the summer of 2017. Without professional lifeguards such as the one in that story, the pools and beaches of America would be much more dangerous places. Today I will be talking about how lifeguards have become more and more common over the last 100 years. The rigorous training they'd have to undergo to become certified by the American Red Cross, and the tools lifeguards utilize to be more efficient at saving lives. To see why lifeguards are important, we need to look at a time before lifeguards were around, see the impact they've made over the time they have been around. The practice of lifeguarding has come a long way over the years. Lifeguarding was not an effective presence until the YMCA developed the National Life Saving Service in 1912. In 1914, the American Red Cross Life Saving trained swimmers in the U.S. in life-saving techniques. According to the CDC, before moves were made to train lifeguards, an estimated 9,000 people drowned every year. According to the U.S. Lifeguard Association, the rescue to drowning ratio in the 1960s was 1 drowning for every 2,004 rescues, and in the 1990s, 1 drowning for every 4,832 rescues. After examining a brief history of lifeguarding, we can now move on to the training required to become a certified professional lifeguard. Lifeguards have to take their training seriously so they can be properly prepared for the serious responsibilities they'll have while they're on the job. There are several requirements needed to take the course. 1, you have to be 15 years old. 2, you must pass a swimming skills test before taking the course. Usually consists of a test that tests your swimming strength and your competency. The American Red Cross course includes testing your hands-on skills and your comprehension on a written test. The course teaches you to be proficient with first aid, CPR, and AED usage. If it's your first time becoming certified, your options for classes include the traditional in-class approach. It's the most common class taught, and it takes about 25 hours in class to become certified. And then the blended learning option, which is 19 and a half hours in class and 7 and a half hours online. Having looked at the training lifeguards go through, we'll examine the tools they use on the job to be ready for any situation. Lifeguards use many pieces of equipment to assess them in procedures they carry out on the job. One of the most important tools a lifeguard has is his or her tube. It is a raft that they use to help carry victims out of the water that could be twice their weight. Another is CPR mask. This allows them to get air into the lungs of someone who is unconscious and requires CPR in a safe and sanitary way. The lifeguard must also be proficient with first aid supplies to address anything from cuts and scrapes to sprains and fractures. Finally, a lifeguard's last line of defense, should the unthinkable happen to a patron of the pool or the beach, is the AED. This is a device used to revive someone without a pulse and uses electric shocks to trigger their heart rate. Today, we've learned a lot about lifeguarding. Hopefully, this speech has led to more respect for the job and the responsibilities a lifeguard has. We've gone over the history and implementation of lifeguarding, the training process they have to go through to become certified, the tools they use on the job. Lifeguards are essential pieces to every swimming pool or public beach. I think we can all agree these places would be much less safe without them. Thank you.